Yo, what's going on, people? King Rich is back again with another video. Yeah, big up to everybody that supports the channel. All right. Some of you guys are gonna see the title and not really understand what I mean, but I've got to break some news to a lot of you guys out there. A lot of you guys, you have believed what Disney have told you. You've believed what your mum and dad have told you, that a lot of these women, they just want a nice guy to settle down with. But unfortunately, if you've been hiding under a rock, you would have missed that a lot of women talk about money quite a lot in their dating requirements. They talk about the type of man that they want, the type of life they want to be provided by that man. And the reality is that many women want a rich simp. Many women, I'd say majority in first world countries at for the very least, want a rich simp, right? I was talking to a young lady today about this topic, and we were talking about the dynamics of relationships and how, a lot of times many women feel like they are settling with a guy. And I added my own point where I think that a lot of women don't really like men that much. A lot of women don't really love men that much. And a lot of women are only coupled up with men out of necessity. Yeah. Out of the fact that a man will be put in a position where he has to provide for a woman, right? And what has come to my attention is that a lot of women, they talk about a man's income. A man has to be making X amount of money to be considered eligible for dating. And you don't need to go far to see these examples. In recent time, we've heard women say a man needs to be making 6 figures a year. A number which the vast majority of people on this planet does not reach. Now, obviously, living in first world countries like London, UK, or the various states in America, with the aid of the internet, it is very possible for you to make a lot of money, whether you're working for yourself or working for somebody else. But the reality is the majority of people will be average earners. But for some strange reason, majority of women are seeking after a millionaire. They are seeking after somebody who is hyper financially successful because they see the lifestyles of the rich and famous on Instagram. And it's just not feasible. The majority of people can't all be millionaires, because if everybody was a millionaire, then being a millionaire would not be a millionaire anymore. But you can't tell this logic to the majority of these women. They want what they want and they will not settle. Another reality is that masculinity has been demonized in our society. In fact, being a soy boy, soft wet wipe is what is deemed as a man these days. A man that is going to play the role of slave and workhorse and not complain, and his happiness is not made to be of any kind of priority or importance. It's all about uplifting women, and men have had their time, and it's now girl power. And realistically, this is just a very, very dangerous kind of concept, because if we keep it real, men build the world. Men build the infrastructure. Men do the dangerous jobs and all the heavy lifting. Men carry the responsibility of protection, something that is very overlooked by the majority of women until they are in a dangerous situation. Then they remember that they need a man in that situation to be the hero. But majority of women are not thinking about that. The majority of women are thinking about money. Many men have bought into the idea that they need to be a high value man. They need to be a high earner and driving a Maserati sports car. to be considered eligible to date the women that they want to date. The reality is that a lot of these so-called high value men can't even keep the women that they couple up with, marry and have children with. I always use the example of Tom Brady, a multiple Super Bowl winning quarterback, white guy, 6'4", rich, famous, and his wife still left him for the personal trainer. So I always urge guys to not get too carried away with this concept of needing to be a millionaire. I think that's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. And for the sheer fact that in my own personal life and in the lives of many men I've known, they've been able to sleep with women and not have to really come out of pocket very much. In fact, when a woman likes you, and I mean really likes you, i.e. she has true attraction, sexual, physical attraction for you, they will pay for you. Many of you guys may not have had that experience, but I can tell you this is very real. So really and truly, a lot of these women who talk about they want a man that is a six-figure earner, etc., they are just looking for a rich simp. They're not looking for love. They're not looking for companionship. They're not looking for a real connection. No, they are looking for a man who's going to finance their life. They want to live life on easy mode. They are not trying to build with a guy. They're waiting at the finish line. And when you cross that finish line, no matter how long it takes you, no matter how much blood, sweat, and tears it took you to get there, now they are there to take a picture with you with your gold medal. And now you have the privilege of looking after her financially. And whether she loves you or even likes you, that's just a second thought. What you will notice these days is that a lot of beautiful women are with older men, men who have money. And the question is, do these women naturally, really, truly, genuinely have attraction for these men? And the answer is probably no. We have the epidemic of sugar daddies and women who call themselves sugar babies. These women are basically selling themselves. They're selling box. They're no different than the ladies of the night that do it on the street corner. It's just that they're doing it for high value men. You see, I'll let you into a secret. A lot of these high value men pay for box, if you didn't know. Yes, your favorite athletes, your favorite entertainers and actors, and even to guys that are not famous who have a lot of expendable income, they are buying box. It's not that expensive when you think about it. When you really think about how grimy it is for you to sell your body to somebody else, it's actually not that expensive, depending on the side of the world you live in. For instance. But at the end of the day, a lot of women are seeking a rich simp. They want a man who is going to shut up, go to work every day, break his back, do whatever it takes to get that money, because they don't care what the occupation is. He could be a hitman deleting people, but as long as he keeps his mouth shut and buys her a Chanel bag, a Birkin bag, a Van Cleef bracelet, that's all that matters. As long as you are supplying lifestyle, holidays to Dubai, holidays to Singapore or Morocco or wherever it is, and she just gets to lounge, live a life of luxury. I think they call it soft life. Bro, let me tell you one thing about this life, yeah? Life is give and take. And if you're with somebody who just feels like they are there to receive and their happiness is what is most important, you're not with somebody who is a good candidate for the future. Because that kind of person will leave you when the going gets tough. They will leave you if your finances start to go downhill in any way, shape or form, because they are no more than a glorified gold digger. And also, if you are with somebody who requires you to act like a simp, whereby you are pedestalizing them, but they don't pedestalize you. I would even go as far as to say many modern women today think they are better than the majority of men walking around today. I know this for a fact, that the majority of women do not find the majority of men attractive. So many times in these relationships and marriages, this woman will feel like she's settling, even if she's average at best, even if they are equally yoked. It's a very interesting phenomena when you really sit down and think about it. And I think about these dynamics quite a bit. I mean, I've made a whole YouTube channel talking about the various dynamics of dating, and I believe that this to be true, that the majority of these women, they all want a rich simp, a guy with expendable income who's going to keep his mouth shut and basically let her be the modern woman that she was always meant to be. Another aspect of the simping is that these women who are modern women, i.e. they have modern values and behaviors and ideologies, they require these men to be traditional. Yes, you protect and you provide. You are the breadwinner. You hold all the responsibility, but you're dealing with modern women, so you don't hold the authority. You need to always get a good, clear understanding of the hypocrisy that is going on. All these women talking about, I want a man who's a high earner. I want a man that's making 6 figures. Some of these women want a man that's making $500,000 a year. But these are women who are all over Instagram showing their bits to everybody with an internet connection or Wi-Fi. These are women who have male friends, and you know, they have let's say less than savory pasts, high body counts, they have OF accounts. They don't have traditional attitudes. They don't want to sit at home. They want to be outside, active. They want to wear whatever they want, no matter how provocative or how disrespectful it is to their relationship. They don't care. But yet and still, they want a man who's going to be traditional. Big up to Thelonious for the super chat. And he says, supporting the content. Yeah, big up to Thelonious. Appreciate you. I think that it's very dangerous for a traditional man to couple up with a modern woman, because you know you are going to be living a set of morals and values and code of conduct that your woman is not following, and this could lead you to disaster, in my opinion. You see, modern women don't like modern men very much because modern men are hip to the game. Modern men understand who they're dealing with. They understand the climate. You see, modern women have all the opportunities that modern men have, especially financially. There's nothing stopping a woman from becoming her own CEO, entrepreneur, or doing anything to garner a high earning career. Whereas back in the day, our mothers and grandmothers didn't have those same opportunities. In fact, a lot of women these days, they can amass a lot of financial success just by monetizing their looks. I've reacted to many examples of women on social media who basically can monetize their looks very, very easily. Not much work is involved. And they will look down on a man who makes less money than they do. They will look down on a man who is a 9-to-5 worker making an honest living. He is not on their level. And it's sad. It's sad, the state of affairs. It's sad that, you being a decent man, a hardworking man is deemed as not enough. No, you need to be a high earner. You need to be a high value man if you want to get respect. You need to be making a millionaire if you want to get respect from these women who with high body counts and, you know, sordid past and sordid behaviors, and, you know, there's going to be a lack of respect. And it's just a bad situation, really. Now, my advice to a lot of guys is that you need to understand the climate we are in. Whether you would class yourself as a modern man living by modern values, whether you class yourself as a passport bro, whether you class yourself as a Chad Tyrone or a nice guy or an ugly guy or a poor guy, a rich guy, whatever kind of guy you are, you need to understand the world we live in and the society we're in. The society supports the idea that a man has to be a workhorse and that your happiness is not anyone's priority and shouldn't be your own. No, it's all about a woman being happy. There's a phrase called happy wife, happy life. And, you know, nobody really has any kind of inkling that a man may have feelings, a man might have ambitions for his own life. He may want to live a certain type of life. He may only want a wife that is traditional. In this current society, it's actually looked down upon when a man requires a woman to have traditional values. It's like you're trying to hold her down or trying to keep her in some old-fashioned, unfair reality. When really and truly, if a woman wants a traditional man, she should be a traditional woman herself. But again, you know, logic is thrown out the window. These are modern women who want men to be traditional men. So in essence, the man will be a protector and a provider, doing everything with all the responsibility. If this ship sinks, it's all on him. If this ship sails, then it's because she's happy. I think that this is very, very sad. I think that this is very, very harmful to the happiness of men in general. These women want rich simps, bro. You need to get it through your head, bro. Every time you hear a woman talk about, oh, I want a guy that makes X amount of money. This guy needs to be a provider. Are you a provider? Every time they talk about that provider thing, it's not for good intention. They don't have a good intention. It's not because they care about, you know, building with you or trying to create something. No, they want you ready-made. And in the meantime, they would sleep with guys that they are sexually attracted to for free. Because guess what? They're not just sitting at home celibate. They are sleeping with somebody. Now, they may be sleeping with guys that they don't see as long-term investments, but, you know, they're just attracted to him. So they're going to give him some box. You now, oh yeah, you gotta work for it, bruh. Same person that slept with a Chad and Tyrone in 2 days of knowing him is gonna make you date her, take her out to steak restaurants, take her for seafood. You need to show her some experiences, pay for these experiences. And then, you know what? And this is all that at the same time she's still sleeping with maybe the ex-boyfriend or the friend with benefits, you know. And then finally she'll allow you to date her, be with her, etc. But guess what? Your spending has only just started, my friend. You know, you got Valentine's Day, you got birthdays, you got just random trips, just because it's all about maintaining this lifestyle, this dating life. So you got to take them out all the time. There's a lot of women that would never, ever spend on a guy. My take is this. If a woman is requiring you to always spend money, that is a liability, bro. if she's not willing, now I'm not necessarily saying that you have to go 50-50, but if she's not willing to put her hand in her pocket, knowing that men and women in this society have equal opportunities to make money, but she's requiring that you always spend your money, that is not wifey material. That's not somebody who you should be around for any length of time, really. That is a liability. That's somebody that will leave you at the first sign of trouble. They are not wifey material. They're not girlfriend material. They're no material, bro. All right? It's real like that. These women want rich simps, bro. They want you to have all this money to spend on them, and then at the same time, you keep your mouth shut. You be a workhorse. You work to keep her happy. Yeah, and then she might give you some box here, now and again. Yeah, there's even some guys out there that don't even get no box and they're still paying for it. That is just that's just insane, bro. Like, it's crazy. There's some guys out there, they're stuck in marriages with women who just wanted them to as a rich simp. You know, some guys out there, they're with women that, oh my God, they got mesmerized by their looks. Mesmerized. And then they was just throwing money at that woman. Throwing money like an idiot. Now, maybe she's giving you a little bit of box here and there, but now you've got to the point where you don't even get to touch her. She don't touch you. She don't touch you. And like, yeah, you're still paying. You're still paying, fam. They want a rich simp, bro, but they want to sleep with alphas. They want a rich simp, but they want to sleep with Chad and Tyrone. Because remember, these are modern women. They're outside. They're partying. Party girls. They're all over Instagram showing you everything they got. Yeah. They'll sleep with athletes, rappers, criminals, criminals with money to throw around. You know, they'll sleep with those guys for free or very minimal expense. But Mr. Rich Simp, yeah, you're gonna pay, bro. You're gonna pay, and you're gonna carry on paying. And you shouldn't have no objection, bro, because this woman is your goddess. She's your queen. Happy wife, happy life. You've been indoctrinated. You're fully initiated into that group think. Because unfortunately in this world, the majority of men are simps. Whether they're black, white, Asian. Majority of men are simps. All right? Soon as they see a pretty face, they start simping. Hard, heavy. So I think that a lot of guys need to be very aware of the landscape. As I keep saying, majority of these women, they want a rich simp, and that's it, fam. Forget about everything else. There's no love in that. So again, every time you hear one of these women on TikTok or on Instagram or on YouTube, and they're banging on and on about they want a guy that makes a lot of money, yeah, and especially these women who they're very, very attractive, or these women that have obviously gone and had some body work done, they've had their chest inflated or their backside inflated, and they got the inflated lips, and you know the type, those stereotypical looking women, bro, and they start talking about they want a man that makes X amount of money and blah blah blah, bro. They want a rich simp. They really, really and truly, they want a sugar daddy. They want to be in a relationship with a sugar daddy. Because guess what? Not all sugar daddies get box. There are a lot of rich simps out there. A lot of these guys pay for these women on OF. A lot of these rich simps. You'd be surprised. I've been around a lot of OF models, bro. A lot. And they tell me about their customers. They tell me how these guys just throw money at them, man. Some of these guys, they don't even see the women naked. They just throw money. Like, they have these strange requests. Bro, like, you would be so shocked, bro. Like, the stories I've heard. A lot of these women, they're making a lot of money from these rich simps. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. So, yeah, man. They all want a rich simp. You know, if the guy looks good looking as well, it's a bonus. And believe it or not, there's some good looking guys that are simps as well. A lot of Chads and Tyrones, there's a lot of Chad and Tyrones that are simps as well. You'd be surprised, even though they're in a position where they won the genetic lottery. Yeah, but because they've not really had much problem getting women, they end up falling into the mindset of, oh, women are, you know, they're just doing their thing, you know, men are just complaining, blah blah blah, because they've never had to really go through the trenches of trying to attract women, etc etc. So they end up having a simp mindset as well. You see them sometimes on social media. They'll be the ones that are basically all about girl power, and yeah, it's because you've had an easy road. You don't have the average typical road of the average typical man. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a crazy concept. It's a crazy reality, but it is the reality. A lot of these women, they just want a rich simp. Okay. But anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a like on this video. Don't forget to do that. Yeah, it really hurts the videos when you don't like it. So each and every single one of you, like the video, yeah. And if you can, drop a super thanks after the video if I've enlightened you about something. All right. And yeah, man, just be careful. Be careful. Be careful of these gold diggers, man. Be careful of these money hungry, just demons, bro. Be careful, because just as they come into your life because you're winning, they will go out of your life if you are losing in any respect, bro. You lose your job, they're gone. You're not making as many sales as you was before, they're gone. Right? You might have to start budgeting and cutting back from all this lifestyle and doing all of this kind of extravagant stuff. They're gone because they don't actually like you. All right? They don't actually like you. They just want you to be a rich simp. They don't like you. All right? Always remember that. They don't like you. They like what you can bring to them. They like what you bring to the table. But you could be anyone. All right? They don't even care. They don't even care how you look. A lot of these women that look for a rich simp, they don't even care how the guy looks, because it's not about liking the guy or being attracted to the guy or all of this stuff. They just want to extract resources. They just want to be a leech in your life. That's why all these guys that talk about, oh, you gotta be rich, bro. You gotta be rich, bro. You need to drive a Maserati. Those guys are feeding you lies, bro. All right? They're feeding you lies, and you're gonna end up coupling up with a gold digger once you become successful, and then she's gonna leave you in the end, bro. And then you're gonna be crying about child support or all these other problems that come along with that. But anyway, you lot take care of yourselves. I'm out of here, man. Make sure you like the video. Peace.